WSAZ News Channel 3. First look at 4.
Today on First Look at 4, presidential politics in the Mountain State. As Trump speaks at the Greenbrier, we have team coverage.
An honor to be with 15.
He's already a war hero who wears a Congressional Medal of Honor. Oh, and they named a ship after him. So what's the pride of the Marine Corps up to now? Woody Williams has some special plans for the Super Bowl.
And it has been a gray and mild day today, but the rain that's pushing in now will change over to some snow. I'll have those details in the forecast coming up.
Good afternoon, I'm Erica Bivens.
And I'm Tim here. Thanks for joining us on First Look at 4. First this afternoon, we begin with a severe weather alert on some wintry weather that's moving into the region.
Yeah, we're seeing some overcast skies, at least right now in Huntington, perhaps overshadowing what's to come. And yeah, we are talking about snow once again. Yeah. Look at that. It can certainly have an impact on travel overnight and, of course, that morning commute tomorrow, especially as those temperatures drop.
Meteorologist Chelsea Embreeze has been tracking this storm system and joins us now with the latest details. You can tell by the little twinkle in her eye that there was a storm brewing when we walked in the studio today. Yeah, I mean, meteorologists get excited.
Yeah, yeah, we are seeing that changeover starting to happen in the upper atmosphere. Again, at the lower parts of the atmosphere haven't quite caught up yet. So we'll talk details on what to expect in accumulations in just a few minutes.
All right, Chelsea.
Thanks, Chelsea.
Well, President Donald Trump making a pit stop in West Virginia today.
Yeah, he attended the Republican congressional retreat at the Greenbrier, but first Air Force One landed at the Greenbrier Valley Airport.
Yeah, News Channel 3's Catherine Robinson was there all day, and she joins us now with a look at his arrival.
It was a smooth arrival here at the Greenbrier Valley Airport with Air Force One touching down a little bit ahead of schedule, and for President Trump's third visit here in the Mountain State since being elected president. The first visit happening at the Boy Scout Jamboree over the summer, and then shortly after for that rally in Huntington. But something a little bit different we saw this time, a bigger crowd here to greet the president, and the president actually coming over to shake some hands, to meet some people who were very excited and said they would do anything to be here.
He said, right there's the reason that we're here, is to make America great again, and he's doing it.
Again, people here very excited just for a chance to catch a glimpse of the president, some of them actually getting to shake his hand. May not be at the retreat, but they were able to catch a glimpse of Air Force One.
Yeah, wow. Definitely
thanks, Catherine.
Memorable experience for them. They'll never forget. Yeah.
And just a few minutes later then, in an address that you could watch live on our air as well as online, President Trump spoke to the Republican congressional retreat.
Yeah, among the expected topics like taxes and immigration, the president devoted some time to infrastructure. It's a message that certainly hits home here in West Virginia after the billion-dollar road bond referendum back in October. President Trump said we need to rebuild crumbling infrastructure and streamline the approval process.
Roadways that take 12, 13, 14 years to get approved. We used to build them in 3 months. And now it takes years and years of approvals. We're going to bring that down ideally to 1 year. It's 2 years is our goal, but 1 year is our real goal. And we can get it done under budget, and we want to get it done ahead of schedule, because you don't have too many of them. Under budget and ahead of schedule.
And the president went on to highlight some of our nation's successes, like the Empire Building, Hoover Dam, and Golden Gate Bridge. Coming up next hour, you'll hear more from him on the topic of taxes.
All right, now let's go to News Channel 3's Jatara McGee. She has been following the GOP event all afternoon, as well as the president's speech.
She joins us now live from White Sulphur Springs with the details. Hey, Jatara.
Hey, Erica and Tim. The president started out his speech first acknowledging our governor. He called him my very good friend, Jim Justice, and also acknowledged his wife. He complimented them on the resort here at the Greenbrier, and also took a moment to recognize and make sure to mention that party switch the last time the president was in town, or at least close to town here in West Virginia, over in Huntington. Now, the president spoke for about 35 minutes at this luncheon. There were a lot of light moments and a lot of laughter from the crowd, and it was a pretty much all-encompassing speech. President Trump touted his accomplishments over the last year, reiterated many of the talking points we've heard throughout the week, the themes in the State of the Union address earlier this week. President Trump spent a lot of time talking about immigration and his 4 pillars of immigration reform. He also talked about compromise and giving a little so our country can gain a lot. We just heard from Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Like the president, he praised Republican wins in the president's first year.
It is the reason for optimism, for growth, the opportunity to get
our country growing again. Think of it this way, taking your foot off the brake and putting it on the accelerator and giving America the opportunity to reach its potential.
Now, we've heard from a lot of lawmakers that we've been talking to who say the mood is positive, progress is heading in the right direction, and they're excited about what the party can accomplish on message this year. You're going to hear from more of them coming up tonight at 5 and 6.
All right, Jatera, thanks so much.
Thanks, Jatera.
Well, now to a developing story we're following out of Los Angeles, where a middle school shooting took place. It's left 2 students hurt, a 15-year-old boy shot in the head and now in critical condition, and a 15-year-old girl shot in the wrist. We're told she is now in fair condition. 3 others, a 30-year-old woman, an 11-year-old boy, and a 12-year-old boy also had minor injuries. This happened just before 9 o'clock in the morning local time at Sal Castro Middle School. The teenage girl was taken into custody. So far, no other details have been released. A very, very sad situation there. I mean, this is the 3rd school-related shooting we've had just this year, and it's only now February.
There have already been so many in 2018. It's far outpacing the year before and years previous.
Yeah, and of course, they're still looking for a motive in that one.
Right.
Well, still ahead, we are talking about Super Bowl 52. It's still a few days away, but yeah, the frenzy surrounding the game already in full swing.
And coming up in about 15 minutes, we are talking about the flu and new concerns over the drug that's supposed to make you feel better.
And as we go to break, here's a live look at I-64 near the Hal Greer exit there. Things are moving smoothly, although we are tracking the roadways as those temperatures drop, Chelsea.
Yeah, we just have some.
Well, the football frenzy is on as the countdown to Super Bowl 52 gets closer and closer.
Wendy Woolfolk joins us now from the Mall of America just outside of Minneapolis.
When you come to Minnesota, then you better be ready. The bold North is super ready, but these Minneapolis middle schoolers want to make sure visitors are too. Thankfully, gloves won't be a necessity once inside the U.S. Bank Stadium on Sunday, a location with a security game plan that took the massive federal and local team 2 years to make.
So pretty tightly wedged in the center of the city, and building out a secure perimeter took a little creativity.
As a newcomer to the super stage, Philadelphia quarterback Nick Foles might also have to get a little creative compared to Patriot veteran Tom Brady's 8 super showings.
We still have a lot of work left this week to, prepare for this game, but I'm excited for what's ahead.
I'm not thinking about retirement. I'm thinking about the Super Bowl and trying to win the most important game of the year.
Young fans try their hand or foot at the game inside the NFL experience, since they've already mastered the weather outside.
Never leave the house without
advice that will undoubtedly make their moms and this city super proud.
Wow.
So much fun. Just imagine being there. And there are so many people who go to the Super Bowl who don't go to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. It's just to be there in the city.
Right. It's the whole thing, everything surrounding the Super Bowl.
And not that I'm a betting person, but the over-under, according to Vegas, in terms of the points, it's 48.
Yeah.
What you got?
It's a lot of points.
Over, under?
Yeah, I would say, well, considering some of the craziness that we saw in the playoffs, I would say overs probably.
I'm going with over, too. I got a poll going on Twitter, so chime in.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. They say Philly's defense is really good, so maybe they'll stop the Patriots.
We shall see.
Fingers crossed. All right,
as we go to break, let's take a live look outside from our Portsmouth weather cam.
We're expecting some wintry weather in our evening ahead, aren't we, Chelsea?
Yes, we are.
Class action settlement in a water crisis that left nearly 300,000 people in the Kanawha Valley without water has been finalized. Today, a federal judge officially approved the settlement. This all stems back to January of 2014 when a chemical used to clean coal spilled from a storage tank into the Elk River. The $151 million settlement is between West Virginia American Water and Eastman Chemical. And if you were impacted by the spill, you have until February 21st to file a claim. So far, nearly 64,000 have been filed. Checks will be mailed out in May. For more information on the settlement and how you can file, you can head over to WSAZ.com and click on featured links.
All right, let's talk about the weather now as we prepare for, some snow once again and likely slick conditions out on the roadways. This is a look at Logan right now. You're seeing some rain, but we're talking about that changeover, Chelsea, as those temperatures drop from rain to, snow.
Yeah, and we're going to need the cold air to really settle in before it starts to accumulate because it's been so warm not only today, but yesterday it was above freezing. So we're looking at it to really start accumulating past sunset, but we could still have that slick roads heading through rush hour because it is still raining out there, and we always have that ponding on some of the roads.
Take it slow.
As we head through the evening hours, we are looking at that rain to start to change over to snow as we head through rush hour. Now, in regards to it becoming steady snow, and end of next week too. So
it's like you get a break here, and then more snow, and another break and snow. Yeah. It's a pattern that continues.
Yeah, those nighttime temperatures are going to stay cold.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and once we start seeing the snow accumulate, it's going to keep temperatures even colder
than we're used to.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I stopped.
I knew exactly what she meant. She froze up just thinking about it.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, Chelsea.
Thanks. Well, coming up, we are talking about fighting the flu. The bug certainly been making its rounds, and now some are sounding the alarm over the medicine given to help.
And in about 20 minutes, we're chatting with a war hero from our region who is now headed to the Super Bowl. We'll tell you about Woody Williams and his super special plans for the weekend. As the deadly flu epidemic sweeps across the country, there are some new concerns now about the availability of the antiviral medication Tamiflu.
Yeah, the CDC and drug manufacturers say there is enough supply for Tamiflu overall, but around the country, some areas are reporting some spot shortages.
Yeah, as Gabe Gutierrez shows us, some pharmacies say that they can't reorder because of the surge in demand.
This morning, the heartbreak not letting up.
We lost a good firefighter.
A solemn funeral in North Carolina for 43-year-old Dawn Harrison, a volunteer firefighter and mother who died from flu complications. Age, no barrier to this deadly bug. 9-month-old Isaac Lehman, last week a happy baby, now in a coma.
It just got worse.
This vicious virus leaves many people unsure what to do. Researchers say this year's flu shot may be only 30% effective, but it's still worth getting.
The shot's not perfect, but it is our best defense against the flu.
And for people who get sick, doctors often prescribe Tamiflu, an antiviral drug shown to reduce the flu's duration if it's taken within 48 hours after symptoms start. But in rare cases, apparent side effects have been reported.
And so I started researching it where children had been delusional, having, hallucinations. They just weren't in their right mind.
A family in Indiana fearing side effects of Tamiflu may have led to the apparent suicide of 16-year-old Charlie Harp. His legal guardian speaking to NBC affiliate WTHR, saying he was a happy kid until he got the flu.
I start seeing these articles of all these children who have been harmed, and if it's that big of an issue, why are we still prescribing it and giving it to our children?
The company that makes Tamiflu released a statement to WTHR saying it couldn't comment on the specific case, but, quote, neuropsychiatric events have been reported during administration of Tamiflu in patients with influenza, especially in children and adolescents. These events are also experienced by patients with influenza without Tamiflu administration.
No light behind her eyes.
Winnie Duffy was terrified when her 5-year-old daughter Eleanor had what she calls seizure-like symptoms and hallucinations after taking Tamiflu.
I've never been panicked like that in my life.
Worries heightened by concerned people on social media urging caution.
They've read stuff on social media that don't give your child Tamiflu because there are risk of, and very rare risk of, seizures, confusion, and perhaps even more complicated neurologic symptoms. But those are exceedingly rare.
The CDC says the best candidates for antiviral medication are the very young, the elderly, and those with compromised immune systems. The company that manufactures Tamiflu says the apparent side effects have also been experienced by flu patients who haven't taken the drug. Writing in part, patients should be closely monitored for behavioral changes, and the benefits and risk of continuing treatment with Tamiflu should be carefully evaluated for each patient. To date, there is no data suggesting a link with antiviral treatment. Pharmacists say a lot of people are asking about the drug.
Probably one of the highest demand years I've ever seen. It's nonstop.
Not surprised, really, considering how bad it is right now across the country.
And there are some folks out there who might say just avoid Tamiflu altogether. We heard Dr. Rushton just this week talking about avoiding anything antiviral.
Yeah,
so
right.
Yeah, you might just want to.
Talk to your doctor if you have any questions or concerns at all, because, you know, you can't sometimes decide this stuff on your own. You need the professional advice.
Yeah, for sure. We'll still head on First Look at 4. We have details on a neighborhood crime alert as the search is on for whoever was caught on camera doing this, vandalizing a business.
And we are talking about a fun event that may put a little skip in your step, and it's aimed at raising money for a good cause. Folks at a gas station in Greenup County sprayed with graffiti and racial slurs overnight are hoping for a little bit of help.
Yeah, this is a neighborhood crime alert that we've been following, and it was all caught on camera, too. And now they're hoping someone out there will recognize the person in this surveillance video.
This happened at the NTH pit stop in the South Portsmouth area. News Channel 3's Chad Hedrick joins us now. And Chad, some of the graffiti is so vulgar, we're not even going to show it.
Yeah, and that's what's so troubling to store management and customers who stop by every single day. Security footage shows one person who appears to be wearing a ski mask walking up to the building. Now, this happened just after 11:30 last night. An employee came to work this morning and noticed the vandalism and called the owner and told him what happened. Now, nothing inside the store was damaged, but a large part of the front of the building is covered in profanity and vulgar phrases such as white power, leave, and even a swastika. Now, the owner says he's never done anything to bother anyone and is saddened that someone would do this to him.
I was really nervous about that thing. It happened to me first time in this 4 years time, you know. And I never did wrong anything to the community here. I tried to help the community all the time.
Now, Kentucky State Police are investigating this crime right now. They say it is considered criminal mischief. However, troopers tell me that they will be consulting the county prosecutor concerning any hate crime components to this.
No doubt.
For sure. All right, Chad, thanks so much. And really, you think about who's affected, it's that business owner that has to now clean up and pay for all the damages.
Clean up, pay for the damage, not only the emotional scars that are left behind. You know, you're going to be scared in a situation like that.
Terrible.
Terrible is right. Right now, troopers are working on identifying that person involved. If you know anything, don't hesitate to call.
All right, now to a severe weather alert. We're following on some snow that could be moving in.
Yeah, you can see the rain right now in Charleston. The temperature's still, you know, a little too warm for any snow, but wintry weather is on the way, once again impacting our evening and also our morning commute. Meteorologist Chelsea Ambrose has been tracking the system and joins us now with the latest.
Yeah, well, hey, Dancing with Our Stars is back, and the Highlands Museum in Ashland is hosting this year's contestants on Saturday night. I am beyond thrilled to help judge.
This event, by the way, is the museum's, it's the biggest fundraiser of the year, and here to give us a little preview of what we can expect, John Gross is here, Dr. John Gross, who's a former winner, Marilyn Mason, who's also a former winner, and then Tia Rumbaugh, who is from Highlands, from the museum. So thanks for coming. This is really popular. How many years has this been going now?
Oh, this is our 5th year.
5th year now, okay.
Wow.
And it gets bigger every year?
Absolutely.
And now talk about the number of contestants, because we have a lot of folks that are competing Saturday.
Absolutely. There are 10 local celebrities partnered with 10 professional dancers from our community.
Wow.
And one thing that you have to remember when you're doing these kind of fundraisers is people do want to help out, but they want to have fun. And the idea behind this is fun. Apparently it's working because there aren't any tickets left.
Yes.
Sold out already.
Yeah, we sold out on Monday.
Yeah.
That's
always good, is to make people know that they're going to go there and have a good time. And you guys show them the good time.
Yeah, and I want to transition to this because you guys have been there, you've competed, so you know exactly what all goes into this. Talk about the preparation that you have had to do to get ready for it.
Certainly. I think I speak for Marilyn and I both. We enjoy dancing, but it's different to be dancing in front of 650 people than dancing at a wedding when everyone's intoxicated.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm pretty good at that. So it did take a lot of hard work. The professionals were fantastic to help both of us, and it was just a tremendous amount, a lot of fun, but a lot of work.
Absolutely. And since it is obviously a fundraiser, talk a little bit about where the funding has gone in the past and also how much you guys have raised, because it was a big deal last year.
Absolutely. So just south of 6 figures, and we're hoping this year to beat that. Yeah, absolutely. But so funds from the last 5 years from events like Dancing with the Stars have helped us have exceptional growth. And so we've been able to purchase the historic C.H. Parsons department store building in downtown Ashland, as well as install new bathrooms, new elevators, new entrance, as well as renovate our 4th floor. It's called the Highland Center, which is now a 500 capacity conference space with private garage entrance and available for rent to the public. music. And we have designs for our Discovery Center, which is on our lower level. That's the children's interactive exhibit space. And that's going to be a huge project in the next couple of months and years. So
I'm so excited to see what that could look like. Okay, any advice that you have for those that are competing on Saturday?
Yeah, are you willing to give that advice, or do you want to like dancers hold on to their secrets?
We were previous. I was year 2 and you were year 4, so we're giving advice. I don't know if you have any great advice, but I would say have fun, because the people that are there, they're having a blast, and most people aren't very good dancers, so 90% of the audience thinks you're doing fantastic. Even if you think you missed a step, don't worry about it. Just keep going. They won't even notice.
The smile, because I've judged these things before. The smile and just showing that you're having a good time. People like to watch people have a good time. So that's a good point. That's a really good
advice yourself.
Yeah. Trust me, I can't dance. The only thing I can do is give advice. For sure. And we mentioned it's sold out, but there's still a chance that if folks want to get involved, they can vote, right?
Absolutely.
Tell us how that
if you go to highlandsmuseum.com/DWOS, you'll get to see the roster of all of the contestants, and it's $1 equals 1 vote. So you can vote via PayPal, and
you can vote as many times as you want, too,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
So that's part of the fundraiser. You can help that way.
And for multiple couples, if you want.
Vote early and often, as they say, if you want.
All right, so don't go anywhere, though, because after the break, Tim and I are going to be trying out a few steps ourselves. Nothing too fancy.
I didn't know I was... What?
Ta-da!
Oh, great.
You get to learn, Excited? Nervous?
I feel a cramp.
Take your own advice. Just smile and have fun.
I feel sick to my stomach, actually. Gotta leave.
We'll be right back. All right, so we are back with our Dancing with Our Stars folks, here to show us some steps.
That's right. Leslie McLeod and Ryan Adkins are here. They are actually former contestants, so you're going to teach us a little something. It better be easy. That's all I can say.
We're going to need to dumb this way down.
And it better not involve any rhythm, because I ain't got none.
2 left feet over here. I don't know.
And there are 2 left feet that are tied up. So.
And he's the pro. So.
Good. Okay.
So how do we do something?
So we've got a little bit of fancy arm work I can show you.
Okay.
Start out holding hands.
I'm going to flip this way. Okay.
Come out. And Tim, you're just going to lead her around in a circle to your right or left.
Wait.
Whoa.
We're going to have to slow down a little bit.
My left?
So I go under.
My left. Okay. Okay.
And then you would just promenade around.
Promenade around, okay.
And when you reach facing forward again,
right here,
you take your left hand, Tim, bring it around, and then her spin
around, and then back.
And you're back to where you started.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I can do that.
It looks much more impressive.
Ta-da,
and then promenade around,
and then swoop
around. Flip her back over.
Lovely.
Oh, look at that!
That's the first time I've ever danced in my life, other than the slow, the kids slow dance at the prom, and they do the Frankenstein thing. That's the only thing I've ever mastered, the Frankenstein dance at the prom.
What is that called? Is that anything official in terms of terminology? Or?
No official name for that.
Wow.
Is that what we're looking at right there? Was that what we just? Oh, okay. Melanie just pulled up a graphic. Okay.
That's pretty impressive.
That's good. Thank you so much for showing us how to do that.
And I want to point something out too, because for a lot of folks that are maybe even going to the event on Saturday, they're like, okay, everyone's a professional dancer.
Right.
That's not the case. These are some everyday folks that are in the community that are doing this, right? Yeah. Speak to that.
I mean, I did it last year along with Marilyn, and it's a great event. I was very nervous, but
so you were nervous about it.
Oh, of course, but it's a lot of fun. And once you get out there and do it, it's such a short period of time that it goes by very quickly. And the pros, they do a great job to lead us.
Yeah, and it's not like you just show up one day. You actually have to go through, I'm sure, a lot of practices, right?
A lot of practice. So it's a big commitment.
Yeah.
Were you as nervous after you got it down pat, or just walking in the door were you more nervous and then you felt more relaxed, and by the time you were ready for the performance you were good?
I mean, I made him practice a lot because I did not want to go out there. I worked for King's Daughters, and a lot of people, I was just afraid that I was going to mess up.
That's the way I'd be, yeah.
But it ended up, you know, before I walked on stage, I was very nervous, but all my family was there, and then it just came pretty natural. It was good.
And it was fun?
It was a lot of fun.
You had a really good time. So you don't regret doing that at all?
Not at all. And I encourage anybody that gets asked to please consider it, because it is a great, and it's for the museum, it's for the money
and that's
that you raise. It's not how great you dance.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. The thing about that is to have somebody like me do that. What they're trying to do is sell tickets, not have protests outside, and that's how bad my performance would be. There'd be actual protesters. So.
All right. Any last advice? for folks that are competing?
Yeah.
I would say just relax. Go with the flow. You know, if you've practiced, you're good. The whole point is everybody's raising money for the same cause.
Right.
It's a great cause.
I love that.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Enjoy.
Yeah,
You want to try it one more time? Do you remember it?
Listen to Melanie, our producer. She says yes.
Yes.
Like I'm going to make a fool out
You
of
can
you.
remember how to do it.
Okay, so I take my left hand and I take you around like that.
And you're going the wrong way. This way.
Yeah.
This way.
And then back around this way, and then.
We didn't promenade.
Oh wait. Okay. Here. Okay, let's try this again.
One more time.
Okay, so I take you
spin
around this way, and then that way,
And then you walk in a
promenade,
circle.
Promenade.
and then
Then we spin back
and
around.
then back around, and then done.
Very nice.
See?
We did it. Not too bad. It
Not
does look
too bad.
fancy, though. I like it. Thank you for joining us.
I'm very
Thank you
happy
for
that
asking.
you taught me that. Thank you so much.
This is good.
That's the biggest thing I've ever done in my life, dancing. So that's the only thing.
I'm proud of you.
I'm nervous. All right, as we go to the break, we're going to take a live look outside from our Ashland weather cam.
Yeah, we're seeing some overcast skies, and we are talking about snow this evening, Chelsea.
It's getting ready to move into our area. As again, like I said, up to 3 inches in some areas.
Wow. Yeah, that definitely make an impact.
Yeah, they'll be happy about that in the mountains as usual. So,
Yeah.
good stuff.
All right, Chelsea, thanks.
Thanks, Chelsea.
Still ahead in our 5 o'clock hour, when it came down to siding with either the New England Patriots or the Philly Eagles for Super Bowl Sunday, many sports fans had no problem choosing their allegiance.
Now, the most important voice in Cincinnati has weighed in.
Oh.
After the break, we'll hear from a local war hero who is headed to the Super Bowl, right down to the gridiron.
We'll tell you about Woody Williams and his super special plans for the weekend. Stay with us. All right, so West Virginia may not have a professional football team, right? But the state will be very well represented this Sunday at Super Bowl 52.
We told you earlier this week that West Virginia's only living Medal of Honor recipient will flip the coin before the game. Amanda and I had the chance to sit down with him at his home in Ona on Monday morning.
Thanks for taking some time out for us.
Such an honor.
My pleasure.
It's our pleasure. Talca, you're heading to the Super Bowl. What is that like, an honor to be with 15 of your fellow Medal of Honor recipients?
Well, I'm floating about 20 feet off of the ground yet, and realization hasn't really set in. It will Friday when we leave, because never dreamed of anything like this.
How did this start? How did you begin this conversation with the NFL? I guess they came to you.
Yeah. Somebody came up with the idea of inviting Medal of Honor recipients to the Super Bowl. We certainly agreed, yeah, we want to go, you know. And then last week, somebody decided, well, we got to have a coin flipper.
It's your most official title ever.
I'm going to be the coin flipper.
Wow.
I never dreamed that anything like this could ever happen in my life. This is another first that, and I've had so many firsts in my life that are almost miracles. Absolutely. You know, receiving this medal was a miracle, because I'd never even heard tell of it.
He calls it a miracle, but the United States government says it was his unwavering bravery, going above and beyond the call of duty in Iwo Jima, that earned him the prestigious honor.
On February 23, 1945, covered by just 4 riflemen, his actions under intense enemy fire helped to neutralize a Japanese stronghold.
This just doesn't represent me. This represents others, because without others doing something, I could have never received it. 2 Marines that day gave their lives, sacrificed their lives protecting me.
And it's that ultimate sacrifice he hopes Americans will remember when he and the other Medal of Honor recipients take the field before Super Bowl 52.
The 15 of us that will be there, I hope we set an example that our young people can see that we represent not just ourselves, but we represent country, flag, love of country, dedication, patriotism. We represent all of that, and any one person could do that. It's not restricted to we 15 or we 72. There are only 72 of us living now. It's not restricted to us. Any person has within them that ability to do that. And I hope we can set an example for our young folk. Hey, You know, we owe something back to America for what America has given to us. It wasn't free. It cost a tremendous number of lives.
The Super Bowl, in some ways, is almost the epitome of American freedom.
It is. It is. And you know, it's demonstrating, I think, that 110 million? 110 million people can have one vision and a cause.
You've been practicing coin flip at all? Is there a coin around here that you've been tossing around?
We've done that all of our life, you know. Heads I win, tails you lose.
Okay, you're practicing.
So, you know.
What are you going to wear? What's going to be on?
Well, they tell us we need to wear dark trousers, and so I'm going to wear a dark suit. I'll be dressed with my necktie on.
Okay. All right. Will you wear your medal?
Yes, I will. Absolutely, because I'm not representing me. I'm representing them, not me. I'm just a cog in the wheel, and I will be representing them when I do that.
I get the feeling that he would wear that medal to bed if he could. He is so proud to be an American, so proud to be a Marine, and so proud of his fellow Marines.
What a treat. What a treat. Amanda, we want to bring you in now, too. How was this experience for both of you, just hearing his story?
Yeah.
I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since Monday.
Right.
Of course, I've met him before, and Tim, I know you have too, but to really be able to be in his home and talk with him like that, and I asked him, I said, can I touch the medal because it wasn't straight? And so, and he said that he was shaking when President Truman put it on him. And lots of neat stories we learned.
Yeah, it was really something. There was a lot of insight. We learned about what they now call PTSD.
Right.
He talked about what he went through. They didn't call it that back then.
Very different when they came back.
He didn't know what was wrong. You know, he was so open and so willing to talk. And he said, actually, and we'll get into that, and we'll hear more from that. We're going to post it all on WSAZ.com too.
I can't wait.
And more tomorrow too. But what was interesting, he said that talking about it probably helped save his life, but the Marines rejected him at first.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't
a very different
They said
time.
he was too short. And then they said, okay, you're good. You're in.
And look where he is now.
They're happy with their decision.
Yeah. I think they made a good decision, definitely.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us on First Look at 4.
First at 5's up next.